Hi everybody, this is Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, I'm back talking about Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and today I wanted to talk to you about what class you should choose when playing through the Mass Effect trilogy. Now, there are a couple caveats here, and there are a few things that I don't know how they will change in the Legendary Edition, but assuming things stayed the same, I can talk about what you might do. And assuming things actually change, I can talk about what you might do when it comes to picking your class. First, thank you to everyone who comments, likes, subscribes. I really appreciate it. What's your favorite class? First, thank you to everyone who comments, likes, subscribes to my videos. I really appreciate it. If you find what I'm doing here to be interesting or of value, I would love it if you threw a like or a comment or even a sub on this video. Thank you very much. And I'm curious, what's your favorite class through the Mass Effect trilogy? And does it change from 1 to 2? That's my question. Okay, on to this video. So, first of all, the reason for this video is between Mass Effect 1 and 2, there's kind of a big shift in classes. The way the game is set up shifts. Mass Effect 1 feels more like a traditional old school BioWare RPG with its classes, and Mass Effect 2 finds the classes to be more specialized and given unique abilities. Back when Mass Effect 2 first came out, you had the option of carrying your save over to the new game, and you could change your class from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2. I'm not positive if they're going to offer that option anymore. It's very possible that they will, but if they do not offer that option, here is the reason you might want to decide what your class is going to be in Mass Effect 1, knowing what it will do in Mass Effect 2. Okay, let's take a look. So, the classes inside the game are the Adept, the Soldier, the Engineer, the Infiltrator, the Sentinel, and the Vanguard. I think I've got them all here. Now, at first, in Mass Effect 1, you have talent trees where you're unlocking skills, and all the games have this. However, one big thing changes for each of the classes. So, as you can see, in Mass Effect 1, if you're an adept, you have your adept abilities, you have weapons that you're good with, which that is possibly changing as well in the original Mass Effect. They're changing what weapons are locked to which class. So parts of this could slightly change, but the big reason for making this video will not. Let's say you pick an adept or a soldier in Mass Effect 1. Once you go to Mass Effect 2, each class unlocks a new special ability that the other classes do not have access to, and they are not in Mass Effect 1. So, for instance, the Adept, once you take him into Mass Effect 2, you are the only character who can throw Singularity, or the only class, that can use the Singularity power. That is a specific power locked to being an Adept in Mass Effect 2. So if you want to be the most powerful biotic possible, even if you picked something like a Sentinel, which also has biotic powers, you would not be able to get this power. Same thing with Soldier. Soldier has an ability that no other class has, which is Adrenaline Rush. Only the Soldier has an Adrenaline Rush, and that kind of like beefs him up, makes him deal more damage with all the guns he's doing and things like that. The Engineer is the only class that can summon a combat drone, and that's a little drone that will follow you around and help you fight. So if this sounds cool, well, then you might want to start Mass Effect 1 as an Engineer, so when you carry your character over to Mass Effect 2, you are able to use this ability. The Infiltrator, one of my favorite classes in Mass Effect 2, is the only class that lets you put on a tactical cloaking. This is very good, and I know a lot of people use it for their insanity runs. It's an extremely useful ability. So it's possible, if you want to use that ability, pick an Infiltrator in Mass Effect 1. The Sentinel has the power to create tech armor on them. So the Sentinel is a pretty cool character because it is sort of equal parts weapon damage and equal parts engineering, but it does not have a combat drone. It, however, gives you this tech armor. It's not one of my favorite abilities, to be honest. Then there's the Vanguard, and I feel like the Vanguard is really the reason that this is even a discussion. Classes like the Vanguard and the Infiltrator and stuff, you wouldn't really think about it, but if you want the ability to use the Vanguard's power, which is charge, where you dart across the map and slam into enemies, you only get that with the Vanguard. You can only turn invisible with the Infiltrator. So if you want to play the same class all the way through Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 3, which is totally doable and fun, any class will do. However, if you want to have access to some of the more interesting powers, in my opinion, throughout the series, then you would want to decide early on which class that would be. In my opinion, the Vanguard has one of the most interesting powers. The Infiltrator has one of the most interesting powers. The Engineer with its combat drone has one of the most interesting powers. And if you really like the Adept biotic abilities, then the Adept has interesting powers. I don't think you're going to fall in love with the Sentinel or Soldier's powers. In fact, my first playthrough of Mass Effect 1, I played a Paragon Soldier, I think, because I felt like, I felt like something in the game was telling me that Shepard was a soldier type character, but I realize that's now not the case. You can be whatever you want. But I played a Paragon Soldier, and I changed that when I went into Mass Effect 2 because I wasn't interested in the soldier's ability. If they let you do that in Mass Effect 2 this time, when you move from 1 to 2, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you want to stay consistent through the trilogy, I would just have an idea of which class ability sounds the coolest in Mass Effect 2, basically. And again, my thoughts are the Vanguard or the Infiltrator, maybe the Engineer as well, and then possibly followed by the Adept. All the powers are cool, but there are some that are much cooler than others, in my opinion. So that is a little thought on picking your class in Mass Effect 1. I hope that helps. And of course, if they keep the feature where you can change your class from 1 to 2, then hey, who cares? You could also make an entirely new character. But I think the whole point of Legendary Edition in my mind is you're going to play one character all the way through from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. With that in mind, I would just know which class sounds most interesting as the game progresses, so you can pick that in one. I have a feeling in this one I'm going to play Vanguard. I had a Vanguard playthrough in Mass Effect 2, but I mainly played through Mass Effect 2 and 3. Like, my main character was an Infiltrator and then an Adept. So I might go Vanguard or even Engineer or something like that. But I hope this helps, and I hope it gives you an idea of which class you might lean towards in Mass Effect 1, knowing that you unlock new abilities because of that in Mass Effect 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. I will see you all next time. Mwah.